Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Ugly Face Gaming here, and welcome to a One Punch Man video. Now, I know you guys are probably like, what are you doing? Why are you still making videos? I thought you were going to be on a hiatus and so on and so forth. But after all of this, I kind of just took a step back and realized that I should be making videos when I do have the time before I leave, because obviously I don't want to be gone, saying I'm in a quote unquote hiatus when in reality I could still be at home making videos for you guys. So obviously I thought, let me just make a One Punch Man video because I just watched the latest episode and I'm kind of really intrigued as to what exactly is happening, because at this point I'm actually wondering how strong is Saitama, because obviously within this episode it's going to be kind of like a mini review, but I do want to talk about more of Saitama, what he has actually had to say towards the end of the episode, because when this episode actually started, it was, obviously Suiru actually talking to Saitama, telling him like, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be protecting them, you should be protecting yourself. And obviously Bakuza, as big as he was, and he was pounding on Saitama, and even Bakuza realized that Saitama was the one who actually one punched them, which made Bakuza get even more angry, like, oh, I'm gonna just beat you up here right now. And he actually did start to beat up Saitama was getting moved left and right and stuff like that, but when Bakuza actually went for his killer move, Saitama just one punched him. So obviously, we kind of knew that he was going to one punch this enemy, but I thought it was going to be more of an action sequence. So we didn't really get to see the action sequence from Saitama against an actual monster, which is kind of sad, because I really want to see what this anime studio can actually do in terms of their art and animation when it comes to Saitama versus the monsters. But from that, I digress. So yes, he actually one punched Bakuza, and that's when he went to Suiru, and he was actually telling him like, yo, I came right, like, sorry for actually taking too long. He didn't really explain why he took so long. He was just saying sorry that he took so long, that Suiru actually did good to actually manage to get to that point in fighting these monsters. And obviously Suiru was telling Saitama like, yo, there's one more big martial arts monster who was stronger than him, which is Goketsu, I believe his name. And even Saitama was like, where's this monster? Like, if he's that strong, can you please show me where he went? And Suiru was like, oh, he went that way, but you shouldn't go against him because he's a really, really powerful monster. He was the one that put Bakuza in his place. And from here, we actually do get to see Saitama walk towards that path that Goketsu went to. Suiru was holding him back with his arm, like being dragged by Saitama, and Saitama's like, look, you can't really do anything, I'm gonna go defeat this monster. And even Suiru was thinking like, I doubt he's gonna be able to defeat someone like Goketsu, because Goketsu was the powerhouse that actually, manhandled him. And when he was actually thinking all of this, the head of Goketsu landed right in front of Suiru, and Saitama came back like, oh, this monster was defeated as well. And even Suiru was like really shocked at this point. He was like, was Goketsu even stronger than Bakuza? And Saitama's like, oh, I don't really know who was stronger of the two, because I ended up just one punching this man as well. So it's kind of sad that we didn't really get to see that, to see who was indeed stronger between Bakuza and Goketsu. I'm pretty sure Goketsu was stronger than Bakuza, but who knows about how strong he actually is. But these two big martial arts monsters defeated by Saitama with one punch. And even Suiru at this point was like, you what are you, like, what are you even doing? And Saitama was like, oh, I'm just a hero. And he just explained his journey, how strong he became, and so on and so forth. And Suiru is like, do you think that there might be a chance that I myself could become a hero? And Saitama was like, I don't really know if you can or can't, but if I became a hero, so can you. And this was a really interesting part, because I did know that this was going to happen. Like, I kind of had it in my mind, like, I'm pretty sure this is going to happen, but I didn't know how it was going to play out. And Suiru actually asked Saitama if he could be his disciple, and Saitama just smiled. And I honestly thought he was going to be like, sure, might as well, so you could kind of be toe to toe with Genos and you two train with each other. But Saitama just said absolutely not. So I'm guessing Genos is going to be his only quote unquote disciple for the entirety of One Punch Man. And what's gonna happen to Suiru, I don't really know. If they actually put him within the Hero Association, that'd be really, really cool, because Suiru, in my opinion, was a really, really cool character. I want to see more character development from him, because he went from this person who wanted to fight for money and for fame and for girls, to this guy who actually wants to be a hero and trying to be stronger for the better good of the world. But this actually went over with when he was talking to King, because he actually found King walking and they started talking. And even Saitama realized, like, when he was talking to King, like, there's no point in me being a hero because I'm just too strong. Anything I do up to this point, I really am that strong. Like, I have nowhere to go, nowhere to grow, and so on and so forth. And King was even saying, like, why are you talking like this? Like, you are one of the strongest persons in this entire world. Isn't that like a feat in and of itself to be the strongest? And then Saitama's like, oh, if you're the strongest, you can't grow as a person, and if you can't grow, become stronger, what's the point? And they kind of had that back and forth, and that kind of had me thinking as well, like, what is really going through Saitama's mind? Because he even stated with King that his emotions are basically diminished at this point. Like, he has no real emotions when he's actually fighting, because everyone he fights is always getting one punch. The only person who wasn't one punched was Boros back in season one. So in my opinion, I'm like, wow, Saitama in and of itself, like, he may be a plain character who just one punches stuff, but with this conversation with King, we actually see that he does have this mentality like, what do I even do since I'm this strong? We did get to see a little bit of that in season one when he was fighting that big monster, like that big muscular monster who said they were the strongest in the world. But like Saitama even stating it, like restating it within this season, it's really sad because even he states like, I have no more emotions anymore. Like, every time I fight, it's just one punch and it's over. And honestly, I'm guessing he's going to start growing from here. And even, King was saying like, oh, if you're always bored and you always refuse help, why don't you go get friends? And then Saitama was like, no. And then King's like, oh, you just keep on refusing any help I want to give you. And that's when Saitama's probably like, yeah, I might take some advice and I might actually get stronger. Like, what people say and what I want to be is two completely different things. And this was the crazy part as well, because I didn't think we were going to be getting this, but we actually got to see Garo damaged from his fight with Watchdog Man. Now, we didn't really get to see that fight that he actually had with Watchdog Man. It just showed like some of the scenes that they actually had from the previous episode, but he was injured, so I don't know if Watchdog Man got defeated or if Garo kind of just, got his taste of his own medicine against Watchdog Man and just retreated. Who knows? Hopefully we get like a clear indication as to who exactly won that match, or if there was even a winner to begin with, because Garo is still standing, so I'm guessing he must have been the victor, but at the same time, we don't know what happened to Watchdog Man. And when he was actually walking down, he did get to see King, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna take down King because I realize he's one of the class S heroes, quote unquote, the strongest in the world. And when he actually went for King, Saitama just one kicked him, man. That was really crazy how, like, the first time these two actually meet, he gets one chopped by Saitama, and then within this little fight that he was going after King, he gets one kicked by Saitama. So it's kind of sad how they're actually treating Garo just like as this one guy who's able to defeat any hero but Saitama. Like, hopefully he does kind of get his revenge later on, and he actually does become really, really powerful to a point where he's actually on par with Saitama, which I doubt that's going to happen because obviously Saitama is the One Punch Man. I doubt there's ever going to be anyone as strong as Saitama. And even Saitama was talking to King like, oh, I kind of joined this one martial arts tournament because I want to, be able to face the hero hunter who is also a martial artist. And they were just going back and forth with that. And that was basically the end of the episode. Like, it was huge character development for Saitama, who actually realized, like, being strong is really tedious because at that point there's not much to grow as a person, as a hero. And he really had like this weird mentality during this episode, like, what's the point of being who I am if I really can't grow and I can't have fun becoming stronger? But obviously with Saitama having the friends around him that he does, like Genos and King, they're always reinforcing him that even if he is the strongest person on the planet, there is other people who actually look up to him, and maybe that's actually going to make him like lift up his spirits and actually go beyond just looking at strength and just looking to become a better person / a better hero. But that was really it of the episode. And obviously at the very end we did get to see Speedo Sound Sonic training to actually beat Saitama, and he actually gets we get like the introduction of two other kind of speedsters who are from different villages that are apart from Speedo Sound Sonic, and they actually showed that they became faster / stronger from eating the monster cells, and they actually gave one to Speedo Sound Sonic, I believe. Like, they're saying that if you eat this, you could become a monster and get like really, really strong in comparison to humans. And even what was his face? Speedo Sound Sonic, he was actually looking at the monster cell and he was like, maybe if I do take this, I will be able to defeat Saitama. Like, at first he was saying that he didn't really want to take it, but then he realized that when Saitama actually beat him, he was kind of in a state that he was like, oh, there's no point in living anymore. Like, if I might as well just eat this monster cell because my humanity basically has left my body ever since Saitama beat me. And at the very end of the episode, we do get to see that obviously he did cook up the actual monster cells and he was eating them like in tacos, but I don't think it actually worked because at the end of that it said that he had diarrhea from eating the monster cells. So I don't think the monster cells are going to have an effect on him. Probably, maybe they might, I really don't know. They didn't really include his transformation or anything, so I'm guessing the monster cells didn't work on Speedo Sound Sonic. But But at the end of the day, this whole episode was really intense because obviously it just showcased Saitama and his mentality, because we never really got to see that mentality of Saitama because he's always defeating monsters, and there's never a point in time where he actually stops and thinks like, man, I'm really strong already, like what's the point of continuing being this strong if there's going to be no one in this planet who could actually keep up with me. But that was a really crazy thing. Now, honestly, when it came to this episode, it was more of talking than action, because obviously everything from the action came from the martial arts tournament in the episodes previous. So this episode really was mainly just talking and talking and talking. It was just conversations about the Monster Association, Saitama and his mentality about him being the strongest and all of that. So there wasn't really that much action. If I were to rate this episode, I'd give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It was a really fundamental episode and I did enjoy it, but at the end of the day, there wasn't really that much action within this episode. It was just talking and dialogue to kind of further the story. So hopefully within the next episode we get more action in there apart from just dialogue. Like hopefully we get like a healthy balance of both to make it a 10 out of 10 episode, because I don't think there's been a 10 out of 10 episode for One Punch Man season 2 yet, because if it was season 1, every single episode would be getting a 10 out of 10. But for season 2, we're being a little bit more critical because, you know, the storytelling, the animation, the fights are not, you know, the best. So in my opinion, 6, 7 out of 10. But what do you guys have to say about this episode? Did you guys enjoy it? Do you feel like it was kind of rushed with Saitama beating Goketsu and Bakusa so early within the episode? Because those were like the main fights that I thought were going to be like the whole episode, but no, this actually only took up like 4 or 5 minutes of the beginning episode, like the beginning of the episode, which was really crazy. But like I'm saying, what did you guys think about that? What would you guys rate the episode? What do you think is going to happen later on in season 2? And you know, just leave all of your thoughts in the comment section below. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you do enjoy these type of content in which I go over One Punch Man episodes, sometimes Attack on Titan, most likely more of Dragon Ball, because I'm known as the Dragon Ball guy within this area of my channel. So if you guys like any of that content, like reviews, discussions, theories, and anything like that, make sure to leave a like as well as subscribe for future content. And with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you all in the next episode or video that I have for you guys. Peace out.